What's up, guys? Today we're going to do something a little different. I'm going to hop into TTS here in a second, and I've got a booster box set up, and I'm actually going to break some packs virtually. We've been working really hard with a couple of different programs within Tabletop Simulator so that we could randomize packs the way that we actually want to do them in real life. We're in the process of going to our first print right now, so it's been a fun thing trying to figure out exactly how we want that to go for you guys. But yeah, we've got it down. The only difference between the packs that I'm going to be breaking today and the packs in real life is our real life packs will actually break in the exact order they're supposed to. So they'll break 4 heroes, 2 tools, a banner, an instant, and then the last 2 cards will be guaranteed holographic cards. The 9th card will be a holographic of any of our non-legendaries, and the very last card in there has a percent chance to actually pull as a legendary. So that's the only difference here. They will just kind of draw randomly out of the 10 card stack, but they are the same thing. So I'll try to show that off in the process, but this is the first time I've got to do this. So if you like this format and you want to come back to YouTube and see us do this some more and talk about some of the cards as we pull them, let me know in the comments. It's going to be a really fun thing for me to just sit here and look at the coolness that is what the cards have become. So let's get it started. First pack, let's go. Okay, what do we got? First card, we've got a Bard. All right, next card, Covenant. Okay, there's our other holo. This pack's pulling the way it's pulling. So this would be the 9th or 10th card of the pack. We got an instant card in Covenant. And then there's the banner of the pack, Song of Morning. 1 of 2 tools of the pack, Solomon's Scepter. Energy Hammer, one of our basic attack modifiers for the originators. Okay, here we go with heroes. Let's go. We got Librarian. It's a ranged bringer hero. Novice Researcher. This is a bringer kind of theme pack. This is pretty cool. Field Mechanic, one of our early game originator heroes. And Watchman, one of our shield heroes from the bringers. So this pack's been heavy on the bringers, and I'm for it. This is cool. All right, let's get into the next one. Oh yeah, I was missing a card. Return. That's the instant. I should have known that. First card of the pack, let's go! Eledrian Lancer, one of our Envoy heroes. And after that, Alto Artist. It's a quick early game ranged striker from the Weaver deck. The Weaver's Guild, she's got empowered, so she can equip a tool even though she only has 3 Inkata. That's a pretty common thing amongst our Weavers. They're lighter on Inkata, so a lot of them have that empowered ability, and she's also ranged, so she can only be blocked by shield heroes. And there's tool 1 of the set. That is going to be Elemental Staff. That's the attack modifier for the bringers. The defense modifier for the envoys. So that's pretty cool. We've got an envoy card here. That's something we could use that on. Sleepless Tinctures. That is a Weaver tool that lets you deactivate after you've actually activated it. So it means you can use a card ability or attack even and still have that hero be available for defense that same turn. Self-Awareness is the banner of this pack. You can look at the top card of your deck anytime, and if it's an instant, you can play it for double its grace cost. Etching of Inspiration. Search your deck for 1 tool or banner. So it's a search card. This is a really powerful instant from the Weaver's Guild. Engineer of Retaliation is going to be our other holographic card from this pack, and it's a really strong hero from the originators. Novice Researcher, one of our other heroes from the pack. Jester, Weaver hero from the pack with Flashburn. Flashburn's really cool. If you can stack the field up with tools and then play a card with Flashburn, you can do some damage pretty quick. And that's another pack. Let's go. Okay, so next pack. Let's go. And CotR Refiner's our first hero of the pack. Let's go. That's 1. Dungeon Dweller, another bringer. Quick play with 2 tool capabilities. That's crazy. Oh, and CotR Refiner can hold 3 tools. She's a 20 Inkata, so that's big. Elemental Staff, there's our attack modifier for the bringers. Alto Artist again, we've seen that card. Scribe of Protection is one of our big defensive cards for the Weaver's heroes. Pretty early game guy. Can hold a tool and block all those ranged attacks. Hidden Dagger, there's our attack modifier for the Weavers. Song of Morning banner. While Song of Morning's on the field, your opponent must take a tool or banner off the field in each upkeep phase that they draw a card in. So if they're going to draw, if they're not just going to roll for grace, they're going to pay for it. And that's a pretty cool little effect. Dismantle lets me get rid of a tool or banner immediately for 14 grace. Battle Engineer is going to be one of our holos for this pack. He's a crazy defensive originator. He's a rare, so you can only have 2 of them in the deck, and he's shielded. Restoration's the other hollow of the pack. That's a banner that lets you bring tools or banners back from the reserve to your field. That's another pack. Let's go. All right, Director of Convalis, first pull from this pack. That's crazy. Big attacker for the Weavers, and he's healing every time you're activating, so that's a really wild ability. Alden Curators, one of our shielded heroes from the Bringers Guild. Watchman, another shielded hero. This pack has got a theme. We got 3 shielded heroes so far. Okay, there's one of our hollows for this pack, and he is another shielded with Overpowered, which is a fun ability. Anything that they don't block numerically actually goes straight to their HP. There's our defensive modifier for the Envoys, which we don't have an Envoy hero in this pack yet, so it would be a building option. Everlight's Gaze is a healing item for the Bringers. So any Bringer you can attach this to, and every time they activate, they get 5 HP back. We get 5 HP back to our health. Enlightened Artist, big player for the Weavers. Resilience is huge. Resilience means that tools are useless against you, so this hero can really negate a lot of crazy plays from the other side of the field. Return is one of my favorite instance. Return and Shout are some of my favorite instances. They literally just wipe a hero off the field one way or another. In the case of Return, Return sends that card back to your opponent's hand, and it sends any tools they have to the reserve. So that can be really big if they've just spent a bunch of grace on getting a big legendary hero out on the field, and you send it back, and all that grace has gone to waste. So it's a good turn the tables kind of moment. Barrier, a banner from the Bringers Guild that gives extra defenses and adds shielded to heroes. Again, we're keeping with this shielded theme of this pack. Shielded big for stopping all those ranged attacks. This also, when barrier's activated, it negates Piercing Edge, which is another ability that cuts shielded defenses in half. Boulders are other hollow from this pack, and it gets rid of a tool of your choice from the enemy field. That's going to be another pack. Let's go. Doing our best to show off some cards today. Dungeon Dweller is one of the hollows from this pack. We've got a Bringer. She's an early game. We've talked about her a little bit before, so we'll keep moving. Rally is one of my favorite pieces of art in the whole game, and it's the other hollow from this pack, it looks like. And it's just a super fun card. Lets you combine all of your envoys on the field into one attack. Definitely a big help for overcoming some big defensive character or something of that sort. Dismantle, destroys a tool. The Mask of Steel is the Envoy's attack modifier. Scarred Protection, we've seen him before. Nomadic Etcher, empowered. She can carry a tool even though it doesn't look like it. Oh, there's Barrier again. Cold Flames lets you destroy a tool or banner on field as a tool ability. So this can be equipped to any Originator or Weaver, and they can activate and destroy tools and banners instead of attacking. So this is super helpful for when somebody's got some crazy stuff out on the field you need to get rid of. Alto Artist, we've seen her. CotR Scholar, he's got one of our Phalanx abilities. Phalanx basically means that it's going to interact with the other characters in some way. So his Phalanx specifically gives +3/+3 to all friendly Bringers. So if you're playing a Bringer heavy deck and he comes out, he's giving everybody a buff immediately. And he's ranged too. That's another pack. Trying to see if we can get a legendary pull. Okay, we got Longbow Expert, one of my favorite Envoy heroes. He's big attack, ranged character, not a lot of defense, but he can carry 3 tools. So if you really play this right, this guy can turn into as powerful as any legendary in the game. Revelation Rider is a huge effective hero for the Weavers. Doesn't look like it in the terms of attack and defense, but she's pretty cheap to get on the field, and she lets you search your deck for a tool of your choice so you can get your strategy going quicker. Scribe of Attraction lets you heal for 1 point of HP for every Weaver that's on the field. So when she activates, if you've got a Weaver heavy deck, you can get health back really quick. Bringer Monk, you can discard this card actually. Step Aside is wild. You can discard this card from your hand or from the field at any time. During your turn, during your opponent's turn, so on and so forth. When you do that, your opponent must discard a card of their choosing from their hand. Armored Horse, it gives resilience, so just like that hero we talked about earlier, tools don't work against a card with this equipped, and it's given a +10 attack, -5 defense. So you're looking for a striker with this kind of card to make sure that they're not getting affected by the opponent's tools. Just a little hint, works really well with that Longbow Expert. All right, Sleepless Tincture, we talked about that. You can deactivate after you've used it. Director Convalis is one of our hollows for this pack. Retreat's the banner. I love Retreat. Retreat lets you do what Sleepless Tincture did, but for any hero that's on the field, one per turn. Last Chance is a really cool instant. Last Chance lets you roll for Grace a second time, so you'll pay 3 Grace to play this card, and then you roll for Grace, and as long as that roll for Grace is over 3, you're net positive. Torn Cloak, there's one of our legendaries. This is such a cool card. With Torn Cloak, you will actually, both you and your opponent are going to discard your entire hand when this card is played. So you play it, both you and your opponent have to discard their whole hand. Then both players can choose to draw up to 7 cards apiece. So you can get your hand back. This helps you if, like, say your hand is just not that great, you draw Torn Cloak, play it, and I can go after new cards. Say you know your opponent's hand because you've got some hand search tool or something of that sort, and you don't want them getting cards out, you could play this and get rid of that. There's a bunch of different scenarios, a bunch of different ways this card comes into huge play. And not only that, but when you draw, if you and your opponent both draw those 7 cards back, your opponent's going to lose 14 Grace, because 1 Grace and 1 HP for every card drawn. So if both of you draw 7 cards, it's 14 Grace and 14 HP on the hit of this card. That's a crazy move. Hymn of Time, one of my favorite instants in the whole game. Hymn of Time, it lets you bring back any cards, except for instant cards, obviously, from the reserve or from the infirmary that were lost since your last upkeep. A lot of synergies with that. Hey, there's a hollow version of the Last Chance. Sanctions is great. This is a lot of our control from the originators. They're controlling Grace and controlling the economic move, the resource of the game. With Sanctions, every turn you're going to gain 2 Grace additionally, and your opponent's going to lose Grace. So it's like they're paying you. Scribe of Attraction, we've seen her. Firecaster is one of our ranged heroes from the Bringers Guild. Shout, there's one of those. Shout is kind of, it's like Return, but it's a little different. Shout will send one of your opponent's heroes to the infirmary. So instead of sending the card back to your hand and the tools to the reserve, this one sends the hero to the infirmary, and any equipped tools are returned to their hand. Elemental Staffs, Armored Horse, Weaver Brute, got a lot of attack, and some of the balance of that is that he is purely an attacker. 19 in kata. If there's not another Weaver on the field, this guy can't even block if you want him to. Field Mechanic. There's another pack. Okay, first card, Evanwood Wanderer. Okay, one of our basics from the Bringers Guild. Dungeon Dweller. Quick, high in kata, shielded hero. Medkit's our healing item from the Envoys Guild. Gear Shield's a cool one. If you attack or block successfully with Gear Shield, you're going to go ahead and get to equip a tool from the reserve. Return fires a banner from the Envoys Guild. If one of your heroes is defeated, all of your friendly envoys that are on the field get a +6 attack for the next turn. Scout Captain hollow from this. There's a Flashburn. Boulder, get rid of a tool. Supply Runner's the other hollow. Okay. Bard, we talked about him, first card. Weaver Brute. More. Okay, CotR Refiner. This ability is actually, we didn't talk about it earlier, is pretty wild. So she's a 2011 by nature, but if she's blocking or attacking against an originator hero, she's actually going to count for +11. First Sister, hey, there's the first one of the Sisterhood we pulled. The Sisterhood and the Akata are a really wild, like, secretive group among the originators that really specialize in coming up with new technologies and in speaking with the Everlight, all that good stuff. That's lore. First Sister, if there's other members of the Sisterhood that are on the field, they will gain shielded from her. Longbow Expert, Supply Runner, Infused Cloak, defensive ability from the Weavers. Brawl is going to give grapple to every single envoy on the field, plus give them 2 additional in kata. If you don't know what grapple is, it's really fun. Sift is going to get rid of 2 opponent cards from their deck at random. It's a milling instant. First Sister, okay, now we got another one, but hollow. Recovery Module is the healing item from the originators. Weaver attack modifier, cool. Council of Leston, crazy bringer hero. There's tons of synergies with Council of Leston where he can bring cards back. from the infirmary, because his ability Last Stand lets you bring a hero back from the infirmary for until your next upkeep phase. So you can bring somebody back that you're intentionally going to use to block, knowing that they're going to lose, or that has some other ability that makes something happen. Watchman, Battle Warden. When activated, you may choose to send a friendly hero from your field to the top of your deck. Then your opponent must discard 3 cards from the top of their decks. Battle Engineer, big defensive guy from the Originators. Patch Kit, healing item. There's another tool, Staff of Mishitihu. I know that's a hard one, but thanks, Billy. But yeah, this is a really crazy cool card. Lets you take an opponent's tool and use it as your own. Liar is one of our hollows from this pack, and it lets you get +4 defense, as well as if you attack with this hero and they get blocked, you gain 4 HP. Sanctions. J-Hammer is one of our series cards. There's two in this series, J-Hammer and J-Spike. J-Hammer is focused on defense. It gives you +10 defense. J-Spike gives you +10 attack, and if you get them both on at the same time on the same hero, you can avoid your opponent's defenders entirely and go straight for their HP. Commitment keeps your opponent from playing instant or banner card or destroying banner cards until after your next upkeep. This has been a fun little session. If you enjoy doing these pack openings and talking about cards like this, let us know in the comments. We will do more of these. I like this format. I think this is fun. We'll talk to you later. This is Hunter from Challengers.